in strumming lesson 3, I talked about accenting, and in strumming lesson 4, I talked about the snare hit. Today in lesson 5, I'm going to talk about the hi-hat groove, where I combine those two elements together into one groove. And the hi-hat groove is a groove I kind of came up with to imitate a drummer playing a 16th note feel on the hi-hat, where he's playing 3 16th notes and then accenting the hit right before the snare. So yeah, I'm not a drummer. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to have my friend Walter Rodriguez show you.
One.
Thanks, Walter. Walter's a great drummer. He plays in a lot of movies and on records, and I get to play with him most every weekend at my church. And he's got a YouTube channel too, so if you know any percussionists or drummers, you might share his channel with them so that they can be getting lessons as well. I might make an appearance, you never know, on his channel. So basically, you can count a 16th note bar like this: 1 E enda, 2 E enda, 3 E enda, 4 E enda. The snare hits are on 2 and 4. And the 8th note, the 16th note right before 2 and 4 is the of 1 and the of 3. And that's where I'm putting an accent. So it's on an upstroke. So basically what you want to do first is you want to get down a solid, straight 16th note groove. Okay, and when we did 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we did all downstrokes. We have the upstrokes, we're just not using them. So what we want to do is we want to turn those on and use those now. So it'd be this. And try to get it real even. Try not to accent. I know it's hard. And also, try to think about the 4 beats as they go by. So you can go 1 E enda, 2 E enda, 3 E enda, 4 E enda, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to insert a snare hit on 2 and 4. But first we're going to break it down into a smaller chunk. I always like to work on things in smaller chunks, get them down, and then add to that once you have that small piece down. Okay, so we're going to do the first 4 16th notes and then the snare hit. So it's this. So slowly it's 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4 if you want to think of it that way. 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4. Okay, so now what we want to try to do is accent that 16th note before the snare hit. And it would sound like this. You see that? I just basically hit it harder going up. It's a little tough. You can even practice that much without the snare hit. Just kind of loop it. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and I don't know if you want to try to count and do that at the same time. You might fall off your chair, but so now what we're going to try to do is let's try to do the accent and the snare hit. So we're going to go 1 E and 2, 1 E and 2. I'm going to not keep going. Hold on. Now, if you stick around at the end of this video, I'll play this progression, basically A minor to E, slowly, so you can play along with me if you want. You know, the other thing I like about this groove is it's one of my favorite grooves to do when I have to play bar chords on acoustic. So if I'm in a weird key, D minor is not particularly weird, but the same progression, D minor. It's a fun groove to play once you have it down. So basically back to the A minor chord. We'll just stay on the 1 chord. Now what you want to try to do is get that 16th note after the snare hit. That's going to be probably the hardest moment. Ultimately, your goal is to not think about it. I know that makes it difficult that's difficult to see right now. But anything you get down really well, you're ultimately not thinking it, you're feeling it. And that's what you want to get to the point where you're just feeling this. Okay? So what I did there was I went down, accented up, snare hit, up. Because I want that up gets you back on track to keep going. Okay? 1 E and 2. Because it's often hard to do a quick hit after a snare hit. You can even just practice that. Okay, so let me put it all together now again so you can hear it. I'm going to go back and forth between A minor and E. Slow it down again so you can see that. And that's what I call the hi-hat groove. All right, so here we go. I'm going to play it, just loop it and loop it using the A minor chord and the E chord. Fairly slowly so you can play along with me, and maybe I'll pick it up at the end, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3 E and 4 E and Okay, now a little bit faster. Okay, now really fast. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Don't forget to like my Facebook page and subscribe, and check out all of my videos. I think I have 300 plus videos up there, so you can follow back all the way back to when my hair and glasses were different.